Hey guys, what's going on? This is your boy AB Jr. back with another episode of Flawless Fatherhood. And today's episode will be a transparent one. It will be one of great transparency. What I like to share with you guys, I would like to go in and show you in some rather swift detail to let you know, look, I wanted to be able to show credibility. Okay, I want to be able to show you that I walk the walk. Okay, now again, I'm not your attorney. I'm not an attorney, but what I am is a person that has real life experience, real life credible wisdom and experience to where I was able to position myself to post marriage. After I initiated divorce in 2006, I was awarded the primary residential parent for my two young sons. And that was in 2006 in a divorce. And in 2016, when I was unwed, I had my third son from my youngest son's mother. And we currently have a 50-50 week on, week off, shared custody, shared parenting together, unwed. I've told you guys before, I've done it in a divorce. So I've done it on both sides, in a divorce and unwed. And the only thing that separates me from the most men that have kids that are no longer with the mother is that I had the desire and the passion to push forward and do the right thing and build myself a case. That's it. That's the only thing. Okay. Now, sure, had attorneys. Okay. But that didn't stop me from building the best case forward and being able to position myself to where I couldn't get railroaded. All right. But so let's get into it. Okay. This is the final judgment. Mind you, this is from my divorce. So this is back in 2006, as you can see at the top right, case number 2006. This says Enry of marriage, Anthony Blake Jr., petitioner husband, respondent wife. Okay. That means I initiated the action. I initiated divorce. Okay. Now I know divorce is initiated by 70, nearly 75, 80% by the women. So guess what? There are 20% of us men out there that are initiating divorces as well. Okay? So it can be done. We don't have to sit back. And once the relationship and marriage is over, we don't have to sit back and just take it and wait for them to swing first. Absolutely not. All right? So it says down here in dissolution of marriage that the marriage is irretrievably broken. All right? So, you know how they always say it. The marriage is irreconcilable. You know what I'm saying? This and that. Irretrievably broken. All right? Let's move forward. Now, this page is basically just speaking on we having two children at the time. Okay? We had two children. You see male. Right here I have highlighted. We had two sons. And so obviously you've been going through divorce, so the children are going to be a part of the deal. Next is shared parental responsibility. The husband shall be designated primary residential parent of the parties for minor children. Simple and plain, guys. Simple and plain. You see it right there. I built myself up a case. I made sure I did not leave the home. I did not allow her to take the child, your children, or keep the child, take the children away from their home. When you're married, you have equal responsibilities. Do not buy into this system buy into this logic of leaving the house to making sure so the kids don't hear and see a thing and you leaving the house. No, the system will see that as abandonment, and that's your first foot. You might as well be stepping in quicksand. Do not do that. If she wants to leave, you stay there and you let her leave, and don't let her take the children, as that's the children residence. So she's not allowed to take them, nor you allowed to take them unless the other one complies, and never comply. All right? Meaning don't get physical, just hold them back. And if she tries to take them, you call the police. That's how it works. Okay? Can't be afraid to call the police. Don't wear your ego on your shoulder. You're going to lose that way if you got too much ego on you, all right? Let's keep moving. Visitation. Alternated weekend visitation commencing on the first day after the agreement. Should commence Friday at 6 p.m. and continue to Sunday at 6 p.m., meaning she had them from Friday at 6 to Sunday at 6 every other weekend. Now, granted, I told her that she can always have them more times. It's totally up to her. She executed it, a handful of times here and there, but that was just the minimum time. So it was never saying, hey, you can only keep them 4 days a month. That's not how I roll, because I'm actually a sound, ex-spouse or a parent. I don't use my children as a weapon against the other parent, like most mothers do when they're in this situation. So each party shall enjoy 2 weeks of uninterrupted visitation with the minor child during the summer vacation. Now, mostly this was up to her because I always pretty much had them 2 weeks at a time, anytime. Anyway, so she was able to get them for 2 weeks interrupted during summertime. We always corresponded with that, and everything went fine, so it's not a problem. Child support. Child support here says the sum of $500 per month commencing on the first day of August. Since the children were living with me, she had money coming out of her check. She was responsible for $500 a month and started on August 1st, 2006. All right. My portion of child support, I didn't have to cut a check to myself, but because she didn't live with the kids, she had to cut her portion in there. Now, mind you, her portion actually a little bit higher than that, but I negotiated it down just for her to be able to put a guard down so I can get it done and over with, so I can, anything to stop the fight from her, or whatever. So if she thought she was winning, I was all down for it. Child support, $500 a month at the time. Next, IRS dependency. Wife shall claim the minor child. She filed my oldest son, and I had my youngest son. So my oldest son obviously turned 18 first, so I was able to claim our youngest son extra 5 years longer than she was able to claim him because I had our youngest son. Equitable distribution. We had $30,000 about $30,000 worth of equity in the home that we had bought. So I had to give her $15,000 worth of equity. That's what that's stating. That's stating if I didn't do it in 45 days or something like that, if she hadn't enforced that clause, I would have to pay her associated costs for her attorney costs and all that type of stuff. But that was never an issue. She had it in like 2 weeks. So what's fair is fair. If you're married, you buy a house, you get a divorce. Hey, guess what? The other party rates half that equity. All right? It is what it is. I was glad to give it to her to be done and over with. And so then you have some holiday visitation, stuff like that. Like basically in odd number years, I got Memorial Day and Thanksgiving and the mother had July 4th and Labor Day. And in even number years, it's reversed. So basically, you have certain holidays, certain years, certain holidays to others. And like in letter E, it has Mother's Day and Father's Day. The child spends that corresponding day with them. And that's how that worked. Summers, 2 interrupted weeks, scheduled events, basically mean if the kids have football practice or something like that, in which usually they stayed in the sports, that parent that they were with were responsible for going and do so. Getting them there, not the parent that they weren't with. Cancellation is 48 hours of notice that should be given to the other parent if the visitation couldn't be exercised. That's a courtesy. You gotta. It's a shame that you should have to have this information in there, but it's some parents just don't act right together, and that has to be in the paperwork. And if a person doesn't comply so many times, they can be held in contempt and all that good stuff. Waiting time. Here's another one. 30 minutes. So basically a child or another parent should not have to wait more than 30 minutes. And communication is big, so you must be able to do that and execute that and be able to keep up with that because you wouldn't want to be the one that's waiting. All right, so basically that's that. All right, so that was my marital agreement. I'm going to tell you something. Let me give you, now, as we can see, that I actually initiated the divorce because my name was on top in marriage of. Okay, it's very important that you notice that. I have a pop quiz for you later. All right, I want to show you something else. I want to show you something here. When I was looking at the paperwork, gathering this paperwork because I didn't have my, I got divorced almost 20 years ago, guys. So it's been like 18 years ago. So I don't remember this type of stuff. Well, about 17 years ago. So I don't remember this type of stuff. But I was looking through the paperwork after I, went to the courthouse and they gave me, my information. I had to get in there and get it. I realized that it was some domestic violence paperwork that I'm showing you here. And basically, me being a petitioner, I appeared at the hearing, but desired to voluntarily dismiss the action. I dismissed the action once I realized the divorce was about finalized and I had already secured the children as the primary residential parent. So I basically had to fill out that, okay, that I'm dismissing the action. But it reminded me that I was like, did I have a restraining order on her? And I did. And it reminded me that I did because something was going on at the time. And let's just say she got physical with me and I did not retaliate. And I had witnesses. And I filed a restraining order on her. Okay? Now, most men would have too much ego to do that. Okay? But at the end of the day, this is not something that was frivolous. This is something that was actually done. So I made sure I used that as well, just like women do. A lot of mothers do it, but they do it frivolously. But then sometimes it's actually legit. But this was something that was, see, we have this misconception that, that women don't hit men. Women don't put their hands on men. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And me being a man that's a father that's had 2 kids, I had to make the smart decision. I was not going to be without my kids like I had already vowed. You know what I'm saying? And I had said in my one video that you guys probably watched it, my fatherless video, my fatherless story, that I vowed when I was 10, 11, 12 years old, I was never going to be without my kids. So I had to make sure that I acted professionally. I had to have the tact and the bearing and the stronghold to be able to say, no, I'm not going to retaliate physically, but I am going to go out here and get this restraining order. So it's just, you keep building up your case. You got to be smart. You're not got to allow the kids to go if you're married. And if violence happens, you have to be initiated to call the police or file a restraining order. You got to do what you got to do. All right, let's move a little bit forward, okay? Real quick, let's go to my situation with my youngest kid's mom. I had a child and he's 9 years old now currently, but in 2016, finalized paperwork after we went to court in early 2016, actually, final judgment establishing paternity. And in this paperwork is basically we had had our son, and you see at the top here it has in the read the matter of Anthony Blake. They didn't put my suffix on the end, Junior. Against respondent mother, blanked her out because again, this is not me trying to knock her, just be able to let you guys know and show you that, hey, look, men can get it done. Mind you, this is a situation where I was unwed, so me and my youngest son's mother was not married. All right, we're going to go to the paternity settlement agreement. That's basically agreement. It's an agreement saying, hey, she acknowledging I'm the father, and I'm acknowledging I'm the father by the state, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, by the courthouse, by the courts. Now, see, where they finessed us men, us fathers, into thinking that if we sign the birth certificate that we have rights. That's putting us on the hook for child support, but it doesn't put us on the hook to have equal rights. You have to get this paperwork here that you're looking at, the paternity settlement agreement, and your custody order. You have to get that. You have to get that done first if you're unwed. If you're married, you're already locked in. And you have a child, you're already locked in. If you're married at the time the baby is born, the child is born. But if not, you have to do this. And again, guys, I just did a YouTube short before. It only costs a few $100s. And in some states, it's free, depending on what state you are. Just Google it and see how much it costs. Trust me. And if you make less than $50,000, a lot of time, that's the case in Florida, you get to fill out a waiver so you can waive that $300 fee. And all you have to do is pay little filing fees, $10 and $15 here and there. There's no reason not to do this. But see, the system doesn't teach us this. But guess who is? That's right. I'll do it. Let's move forward. So the next one is basically about shared parental responsibility. Each parent should make decisions equally, both. All right? And as you can see, in letter D, parental responsibility and decision-making, the parties shall have shared responsibility and retain full parental rights and responsibility with the minor child. And on the next page with time sharing, it says time sharing. Commencing on March 15, 2017, the parents shall share time with their son on a week-to-week basis on exchange being at school on daycare on Wednesdays. So Wednesday afternoon is when we do the exchange. Then we pick them up from school. So if I pick them up from school on Wednesday, then I drop them back off of school Wednesday morning, then she'll pick them up Wednesday afternoon. Then she'll drop them off Wednesday morning from school, then I'll pick them up Wednesday afternoon. Wednesday afternoon to Wednesday afternoon. The parent in receiving the child shall pick up the child. Child support, $199 a month, $199.06. Now you would think, hey, Flawless, how come you got to pay now $199 a month? Well, because at the time this paperwork was done here in 2016-17, I actually made like $30,000 to $35,000 more than her a year. So I still had to be responsible for a portion of child support because I made more. Okay, but I'm perfectly okay with that. I'm just glad I can be able to afford it. Now, on the next page is about, how can I put that? Back child support is actually what it's about. The father paid the mother a sum of $3,500. Therefore, there is no child support arrearage. Now, here's the thing. I try to teach you guys about child support. What child support is, even if you've been taking care of your child, if you haven't been paying child support, and if you're unwed, not only if you're unwed, and you haven't been if you haven't been paying her child support, writing her a check or a money order that says child support, they deem it as not paying child support. Any monies that you get a child, it doesn't matter if you give her money about the child or give her money to get her nails done. They're going to consider it as a gift because you didn't go about the appropriate measures to get it done. So, unfortunately, I got hit with $3,500 back child support. Hey, fine. Take the $3,500. Actually, it was supposed to have been $5,000, but I was able to find, like, not receipts, but basically co-payment and statements and stuff like that, where I highlighted some stuff, and they got it all the way down from close to $5,000 to $3,500. Wait. It is what it is. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm not the richest person in the world, not even close, not in the middle part of it. But just to get this done, I don't play any games, And so scratched her off that $3,500 check or whatever it was, and I kept it moving. So basically, it says the father shall pay for the child's health insurance. The mother shall provide the dental. Federal income tax deduction. The mother shall claim the son in even tax years, and the father should claim it in odd tax years. See how that works? And then the holiday schedule follows after that. All right? So that's pretty much it. I didn't want to hold it too long. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. I wanted to let you guys know. That's how you get it done. Let me ask you a quick question, though. Pop quiz. All right? Pop quiz. What does the first agreement and the second agreement, what do they both have in common? My divorce settlement and my settlement with custody with my son that's unwed. What situation do they both have in common? I'll tell you. Both of those situations were I initiated the action. I initiated the action, the divorce with the courts, and I initiated that paternity custody action with my youngest son in my relationship post-divorce. Okay? I initiated action. We don't have to sit back idly and let women initiate this action against us. Okay? Being proactive. Remember, I always talk about being proactive. That's where it's at, being proactive. Not sitting back, waiting for somebody to hit you upside the head with a damn bat. No, be proactive. All right? So, there you go. I petitioned the action. I initiated, they responded. Okay? Look, these are the things you have to do. Building yourself up a case. We're going to talk about that within the next, come up in the next week, far as building yourself a case. It is not rocket science. It's not rocket science. I've never been to college. I've never spent one day in a college classroom. I'm just like a 2.6, 2.7 type of guy, grade point average guys. Okay? So let's not make it seem like, I don't know law. I know common sense stuff. And I had experience based off what I went through. All right? And I know how to build a damn case. And I want to help you guys build a case. You got to believe in me, in the system, just like I believe in you guys. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an attorney. But guess what? These attorneys ain't been through what I've been through. A lot of these attorneys don't even have kids. These attorneys are not going to care about your children like you care about them, all right? You can do this. You don't have, if you can afford an attorney, get an attorney, but understand the attorney works for you. And right away, let the attorney know, say, hey, this is what I need you to do. Okay? And you need to agree on those terms off rip. And don't let them move the goalpost on you. So, understand that. Initiate, be proactive, keep your face clean, build yourself up a case, and you will not be a negative statistic in this fatherless society in this country. All right? Flawless Fatherhood. I'll see you on the episode. Share this video. Share this video if need be. Comment if you have any questions. Got a lot more content coming, and I hope you guys chime in. We got a live stream starting next month. I want to see you guys. I want to see some input. I want to see some questions. I want to know what's going on. All right? Check it out. We're going to make this thing happen. I can't do it alone, though. If it's your first time listening, like the video, share the content, subscribe to the channel. See you the next time. Flawless Fatherhood.